Hello, everybody. Good morning to you. How are you? So, I did a tarot reading live for Foodie about 4 days ago, and I made mention, I believe it was on my community post, that I wanted to do a redo because I feel that live reading, I didn't go 100%. My head was in a million different places, so I wasn't completely in the zone. And so I told all of you that I was wanting to do a redo. So I wanted to redo Foodie's reading this morning. Maybe I could get some more insight because my head is a lot clearer and we can find out more stuff. So the last thing that I told you guys, as far as Foodie's energy, uh, the word that kept popping into my mind was triumphant. It's a very strange word to use for Chantal, triumphant. Like, you're probably asking me right now through the screen, like, what do you mean, Rose, by triumphant? Well, the feeling that I got around the word triumphant is that something happened and she had a moment of yes, like some kind of very small victory, nothing huge, just kind of a small victory. But whatever that moment was, whatever it pertained to, that feeling is gone now. The energy that I felt off of Chantal this morning, the word that came to mind was worried. Like she's worried about something. What she's worried about, I really can't say at this point, but there's a sense of worry. I have noticed on Chantal's channel that the feeling that I'm getting right now is she's turning out the lights, meaning she's keeping everything in the dark. She's gotten a lot more quiet. I just keep getting the feeling like she's going to be traveling soon. I know that she's got a visa run. I don't know exactly when she's doing that. I don't know if she's just going to try to visa hop and go to a very, very short distance place away from Kuwait and then come right back. But she's gone quiet. And there's a sense of preparation for whatever it is she's about to do. So I wanted to redo the reading and see if the tarot can give some insight on that. And I hope that whoever you are watching this reading, you're having a very lovely day. After I'm done doing this reading and uploading it to YouTube, I have some real life matrix stuff to attend to. And I had fun on the panel that I did last night with the House of Hannibal. It was fun. Always a good time with the House of Hannibal. And everybody over there always have a wonderful time laughing. Good group of people. So, what's the next word that comes to mind? Tense. Like that word just popped into my head for Chantal. She's feeling a bit of tension. But she's just gone quiet. She's turning out the lights so that nobody can see. Spirit just told me that she's turning out the lights so nobody can see. Keeping everything in the dark. Like if I turn out the lights and you don't know about it, you can't see it and you can't call me out for it. All right. So let me just go ahead and shuffle these up really well. And I'm going to be using a combination of different decks for her reading. So I've got the regular Rider-Waite deck, which looks like this. For those who are wondering what tarot decks I use, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck. There's also another deck called the Osho tarot deck. Love this deck. I love the messages on the cards. And there's going to be a few more. So looking towards the different messages that each of those decks can bring to the table to kind of get a full reading on Chantal. And I would like to stress that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. And even if you're someone, you do a tarot reading on someone, for the person who's receiving the reading, tarot readings, they're not set in stone. The cards are simply meant to give you insight to different situations or maybe certain things you feel within yourself, but nothing is set in stone because life changes all the time. So if you're someone and you get a not so great tarot reading, it doesn't mean that your entire life is going to be bad. It just means at that moment, there might be some unsettling things. And the cards might help you get insight to what those things are and make you refocus on what you have to do. So, yeah. Foodie's energy, like honestly, like the last few readings I've done on her, it's been all over the place. Like going up, going down, going up, going down, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Uh, it's spiraling, just spiraling. That's a spiral roller coaster. But every time the roller coaster goes up just a little bit, it spirals back down even faster. So, oof, it is what it is. Like it's Chantal's life. She can do what she wants with it. She can ruin it completely. But she doesn't have to. Like this. Anybody out there, like even if your life is not so great right now, you're going through some hard times, some struggles. I just understand that there is sunshine always on the other side. And as long as you're on this side of the grass where the sunshine is, you can change anything. You can be anybody. You can go after your hopes, your dreams, your passions, and make life what you want it to be. We all go through hard times, some more so than others, but it doesn't mean we're stuck in a bad cycle. It just means maybe we haven't found our way out of it. But once you do, life will get a lot better. So I'm just shuffling up the cards. I want to make sure that they're all shuffled up. Maybe later on I'll do a tarot card shuffle ASMR video. Some of you have mentioned that the sound of the cards is very relaxing, and I understand that. Some people don't like it. They're like, you're shuffling too much. But that's what you have to do when you're a tarot card reader. It clears the energy off the cards for the next reading. So without further ado, let me just get started with this, because I really want to get some insight on Chantal. I really want to redo this reading and do it well, so you guys know what's going on. Okay. All right. Just one more shuffle. All right, let's go. So let me just focus just a little bit more. So I would like to know about Foodie Beauty, aka Chantal Marie. Any insight that you can offer to me? Any messages? What's going on with her? What is the insight? What is the feeling? Stuck on a path. She's stuck on a path. She's stuck on one road. I see a dirt road. She's walking on a dirt road. And there's the possibility of a concrete road, something much more solid. But she is just stuck on that dirt road. And I keep hearing the dirt road represents the unwillingness to change, the unwillingness to upgrade, move up, do better. She's picking a more primal path, more so than one that's much more streamlined and a lot easier. Just picking the hardest road versus a much easier road. But she's on that path, and although she knows she needs to get off it, she's not willing to get off of it. She is determined to walk that path and make it a success. Although it's a bad path and there's all kinds of misery and sadness and whatnot, she will not get off that road because she will not admit that it's a bad path. She says, I'm on this path and you're not getting me off it. So like that's the picture that just jumped in my head. I see a person walking along a dirt road, and they don't have to, not when they have the ability to build a different road. So stuck on the path of your own making and unwilling to find a different road. That makes sense with Chantal. All right. Moving on to the reading. Oh, yeah. So here we have the Six of Cups. Let me just show you the card. She is really, really focused on... She's focused on making the fairy tale real. She wrote this story, and I keep hearing her in my head, her saying before, this is my story. So she wrote this fairy tale of her own making, of her own design, in her own head. her fantasy life, her alter reality, if you will. And she is determined to make it into a reality. Like she's thinking completely in fantasy terms. And I guess her fantasy life is, having a partner and I guess living in the Middle East and pretending that somebody loves her. She wants that fantasy to come true. But fairy tales are fairy tales, and they're just stories. There are fairy tales you read in books, but then there's real life, which is a bit more complicated. So like she's living in her fantasy world, thinking that she can actually make it a reality, and she's still trying to get things to work with somebody. I'm not sure if this is Nader or Salah, but she's trying to live in two worlds, but mainly in the fantasy world, Delulu land, if you will. To me, this looks like the Middle East with the background and like the bare ground, no grass. This kind of looks like the Middle East. That the portrayal of my life over here is exactly the way I want it to be. Everything's fine. Everything's great. But there's plenty of money. We're not hurting for money. Just this completely fake persona and the fake life to go with it. She's determined to hide the reality behind the velvet curtain where the audience cannot see the reality. That's part of maybe the small victory. Like she doesn't want other people to know that she is miserable, that she's made bad choices. It continues to make them. Like she puts off the energy of every decision I make is good for me. I chose the right life. I chose the right person. I did not make a mistake. Like that persona, that feeling of I never do wrong. I never stumble. I never fall. She's keeping that up. So let's keep on with the persona. Let's keep on with this fantasy life. Let's keep up this veil, if you will, and make people believe that this is what the real deal going on. Next card down, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So isn't it interesting? We have two cards back to back. The first card has a couple in it, and the second card also has two people in it. But if you notice, the money is above the couple. Pentacles in the tarot usually represent money or material possessions or business. They always pertain to the material. It always pertains to finances. So you have this couple, but above, the money is above them. Like money is certainly a part of this. This is not a union of feelings or spiritual connection. This is a union based on Spirit is telling me contract, agreement. There's some sort of a contract or agreement between them. So there is money, like and I mean, I've been watching different tarot videos, and maybe it's just making me more sensitive and aware of things. But if you look closely at this card, look really closely at it, you see a couple standing there. And they're not really looking at each other. They're looking away from each other and looking towards somebody else. And I can't say for sure what the gentleman has in his hand, but to me that looks almost like a spotlight or something. But there's definitely money involved in this union. There's an agreement, but it is not a union of spiritual connection, emotional investment. The money is above that. The money is actually part of the pillar that's holding them together, because you got this pillar in between them, like that. You got the couple, and then above them is this pillar with the money on top. So the money's on top of everything. It's controlling everything. It's involved in everything. Ooh, you got the Empress. You got the Empress card. So the Empress card, it's a woman with blonde hair. And I need more information. I need to know what the next card's going to look like. The Empress is a woman who's very feminine, very caring, very nurturing, close to nature. Uh, I don't know if this is Chantal. That's why I need to see the next card. But that the Empress figure, it represents the maternal, it represents motherly, it represents the feminine. So I need to see the next card. Oh my. All right, so we have the Empress card. Excuse me. You got the Empress card. And then you have Temperance. So that was an interesting mix. Temperance. Oh, goodness. This is going to be a little bit confusing right now. So it's interesting. We started out with the desert background. The Empress card has, it looks like there's wheat or something in front of her. So this looks like somebody in a different area than the two of them. Like it's an maternal person with blonde hair. I know that Foodie's mother has blonde hair. And what's interesting is last night, after I did my panel, I sat up and I talked to a couple of other people, and myself and another tarot reader, we did readings on Foodie, and the Empress card popped up, I believe. Yeah, it popped up for me. Something to do with Foodie's mom. So I need more cards. Can I hit more cards, please? The major arcana is coming out. I don't know why. So we have the Empress card, the maternal, we have the feminine, we have a woman who is a bit more mature, like sitting on her throne. What I'm getting off of the Empress card is a feeling of just, I want to sit here and I want to relax. Like a feeling of, I just want to sit here and I want to relax. So the wanting to be the Empress, wanting to be, sit and not move, be taken care of, almost like just very easygoing, very, and the Empress is propped up by pillows. Hi, Chantal. But just a feeling of non-movement. So the the Temperance card, you got the Temperance having the two cups with the water flowing between them. So I would like to say robbing Peter to pay Paul with a Temperance card. But the feeling that I'm honestly getting off these cards is money, like something from one area being transferred over to another area. So what's in this cup is being transferred to this cup. Like there's property over here, there's money over here, and I'm transferring it to a different area. So just the resources are shared. All right, moving on. Then we've got the Hierophant card. The major arcana just starting to pop up now. And the Hierophant card represents authority, perhaps something spiritual. Like I need more. I need more cards because the major arcana is coming up. You know what, Chantal? I'm trying to gather the right words. Just give me a second, please. Just give me just a moment. I'm sorry. Actually, I feel like the Hierophant card for me, it's representing, like, what I'm getting off of it is the Hierophant usually involves the spiritual. So there's a feeling of she's putting on the persona of being spiritual when she's not, like, you know, like acting like the almost the authority on the spirituality that she says she's a part of. You can't tell me what to do. Like, you aren't the boss of me. Like this is her, and getting in front of people and saying, you can't tell me how to believe in things. So there's a sense of that. You have the Page of Cups. I need more. I need another card to go with the Page of Cups. Let me see. Okay, so I'll show you why I was laughing in just a second. We have the Page of Cups. Let me show it to you. Now, let's go back for just a moment to the first card, the Six of Cups. Again, notice the background. There is no water. It's all dry land with no grass. So putting on the picture of this is my fantasy life. I'm happy here. Putting on that brave face, putting on that false persona for people, right? Then you have the Page of Cups. And there is water in the background for the Page of Cups. So we had the Temperance card, you know, the sharing of the money and the resources, and money being transferred over, something being transferred over from one place to another. And there's water in the Temperance card. Then we have the Page of Cups, which also has water. So I've been telling you guys for a while, I think that when I did my last tarot reading, I did pick up that I saw a picture of Chantal, you know, with her arms outstretched in a hallway, with her hands touching two doors to keep them open. And I feel that those doors represent Salah and Natter. She doesn't know how to let go of people in her life and move on. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. That's true. But there's also a sense of, I can't fail and I can't be alone. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not alone by keeping all doors open. If one door shuts, there's always that other door. Just keeping people on the hook, just so she has a companion of sorts. So I feel, believe it or not, the Page of Cups is Natter. Like, this is Natter. He's got a fish in his cup, you know, like and this is followed up with the Six of Pentacles. Notice there's two people at the feet of the person giving out the money. Like that, she's giving money somewhere. The money is her money isn't entirely hers. Like, money is being paid out somewhere, like it's going in other places. What's interesting to me about this card is if you look in the other hand where the scale is, like the person is giving out the money, but the scales usually represent justice. So focused on the money that you're not looking to your other side where the justice scales are. And Neo Tarot did a reading and the Judgment card kept coming. So like, it's so focused on the money and giving out the money and paying for things that you're not even considering that justice and judgment might be coming your way. Just take a look again. Here's the card. But yeah, money is definitely being passed out to different people for different things. I don't know how much. That's something I don't need to know. But making a lot of money There's an increase in the money for a reason, because that money is going into different places. Handing out the money to other people that want it or are asking for it, or to keep them around. I don't know. And we also have another major arcana card. You got the Strength card. You got the Strength card. So as you can see, the Maiden, she has one hand on the head. Is it a lion or a dog? I can't really tell. It looks like a dog or a lion. But one hand on top of the head controlling the head, and one hand below the mouth. You know, like controlling the head and controlling the mouth as well. I feel that's her with Salah. Like the lion or the dog is not confident. Its tail is between its legs, which is kind of a submissive thing when it comes to animals. But controlling, like deriving strength by controlling something else. So just keeping the whatever is going on around her, keeping a close eye on it and keeping control of it. So the next card we have down is the Eight of Wands. So there are some projects up in the air. What they are, I cannot say, but they're everything is flighty. That's the word that came to mind. Flighty. Everything is very flighty. You know, instead of having the wands on the ground where they can take root and they can grow into something, it's all ideas up in the air. Coming up with ideas and just, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. So you're taking the wand and treating it like a spear, and you're throwing it across the field. You know, but it's in the air. There's nothing rooting it to the ground. It can get no nourishment, but just a sense of coming up with all kinds of ideas and ways to be productive, to try to make money. So there's a sense of lots of things being discussed, lots of ideas, but none of them are solid. There's no solid ground for anything. It's just ideas way up in the air, and they're not hitting the ground yet. Then we have the Knight of Wands. Interesting. The Knight of Wands. Let me just look at this. So the Knight of Wands, I keep hearing like searching for ideas, searching for something that's really going to make things pop off. You know, like there's some movement trying to find ideas and something creative and productive. Again, there's an emphasis on money. The last couple of readings that I've done on Chantal, there's a heavy emphasis on money. And I said that, like I kept hearing in my mind, it's go time. Like her normal routine of doing things, she broke that routine because it's go time. She knows it's go time. So, you know, the Ace of Pentacles, money in hand, wanting that money in hand. How can I get that money in hand? Being very, 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 very focused on it. Got to get that money in hand. Got to get it in hand. And I'm just now noticing this about this card. So you see the Ace of Pentacles, the hand above, holding the pentacle itself. And I'm looking below. Below the hand and the pentacle it looks almost like a garden with a passageway. So Chantal thinking, if I make all this money, then I can walk in the garden. And the life that she wants, that she dreams about, this fairy tale that she wrote in her head, she can make it more of a reality. She is absolutely determined to make this fairy tale become real. Although she put details in the fairy tale that are unattainable, she is determined to make the unattainable become real. Even if it means losing everything, she wants the moment to say, Like I did it. Like she doesn't. She's a sore loser. She doesn't like to lose. Uh-oh. All right. So we have the Seven of Wands. There's a lot of wands in here, and some cups. We got some pentacles. Definitely a lot of wands. So Spirit says this represents a struggle within herself. Like there's a bit of a fight. There is definitely a bit of a fight. She's fighting herself. There are other things that she could possibly do, but she doesn't want those things. She doesn't want those paths. Let's think back to the dirt path. There are other roads that she could take to do what she needs to do, but she's like, nope. She's fighting. There's an aggressive fight going on here. Like there's many things in front of you, many options here, Chantal, but you've got both hands wrapped around one thing and you're not letting it go. You refuse to let it go. That's your stubbornness. That's your determination. You're like, I'm not letting this go. And that's just the way things are. And that's just the rules I made up. Like to hang on to the one thing, you're willing to let go of everything else in front of you that could be better. You're fighting against change. You're fighting against evolving and moving on. And part of moving on is letting go. In order to grab on to new things, sometimes you got to let go of old things. And I got something that's in my mind right now that I need to say. I forget exactly who said it. But it goes something like this. When I was a child, I acted like a child. I spoke like a child. But then there came the time where I put away childish things. So Chantal is a very immature person. She acts very immature. She talks like a child. She acts like a child. But in order to move up, she has to put away childish things and a childish way of thinking. And that might be represented here. Like the throwing the temper tantrums, being aggressive, being determined to be childish. And there's so much more in front of them. Maybe she could do, but just this, I don't want to. I keep hearing that. I don't want to. Hanging on to, I don't want to. So you're fighting against yourself, Chantal, and you're fighting against change. Oh, yikes. Next card down, the Devil card. And the Devil card, if you notice, it's you got the pentacle on top. The pentacle is reverted. I know a lot of people might automatically assume that means like devil worship, but the way I'm taking that upside down pentacle is, since pentacles in the tarot pertain to money and materialism, Chantal taking her money and what she's being given and using it in a way that it should not be used. Like you can have money and use it in a positive way and it could be a good thing, but using the pentacles, using the money, using the plenty that you're given in a way that it was not intended, using it in a way that is extremely negative and hurtful to yourself. So the Devil card, again, it has nothing to do with dark spirituality. The Devil card could be obsessions, temptations, addictions. Though her issues are definitely on top of her right now, way on top. They are ruling her. they are mastering her. They're telling her what to do. And she's getting deeper and deeper into that hole. And she doesn't want to get herself out. Last card down for this spread is the Queen of Cups. So I'm not quite sure if this is somebody in her world or her herself. I don't think this is Chantal. But I have noticed there's more than a few cards with a woman with blonde hair. And again, I know that Chantal has a mother and she has blonde hair. So I'm not sure if Chantal will be reaching out to mom to ask advice or help or whatnot. But I get a feeling that mom is somehow going to be called upon or consulted for something. So let me just get rid of these cards. And let's bring out the other decks and see if they can give us some insight. Okay, just making sure that I doggone it. Okay, so let's bring out the Osho deck. Let's use that. So I use the Osho deck, and I asked the card, what is a person's obstacles? What are their biggest barriers? And what should they focus the most on as far as getting things out of the way? What are the person's so I'm asking the cards now. Can you please tell me what are Chantal's obstacles? What she needs to focus on to get the obstacles out of the way so that she can be a better person, to heal, maybe perhaps heal others. Because she's done a lot of wrong in her life. She really has. She's hurt a lot of people. We all go through obstacles in life, y'all. I mean, that's just a human thing. We all have our obstacles. We make mistakes. We screw up at things, but that's perfectly fine because those are learning moments for us, Sometimes the lessons aren't that hard. Sometimes they are hard lessons wrapped in sandpaper. And you just have to roll with it and learn from it. So I would like to ask the Osho deck, what are Chantal's obstacles? And before I even throw down the cards, I'm getting the message of lack of movement. And that could go in a great number of ways. The lack of movement, she's not moving the way she needs to move. And I don't mean just physically. She certainly does need to move that way. But just when she sees something in front of her, she doesn't make a move when she knows she needs to move. She holds herself back from moving and from moving on. That's the thing, moving on. To keep from moving on, she simply doesn't move. She stays stuck in place. So lack of movement is something that I just got. Lack of movement. There's way too much stillness, lethargy, stalemate. I got the word stalemate. She's reached a stalemate where she's not wanting to move. If you stand still, nothing can come to you and nothing will happen. If you're sitting in a room alone and say you want a relationship, how are you going to get a relationship if nobody knows who you are and you're not talking to anyone and you're not going anywhere? In order to get the things you want, you have to act and you have to move. Movement is required. Action is required. So lack of movement is her problem. She wants everybody else to make the moves for her, and it's not going to work. She's got to move on her own. So this is a great card for her. So the first card down as far as her obstacles, trust. Trust. She doesn't trust herself. She doesn't trust her. She's not listening to her instinct. She's not listening to her inner soul. She doesn't trust it. She's just blocked it out. And here we see the picture of a person, like they're just jumping into the void with their arms stretched out, expecting to fly. But there's a lack of trust in oneself. She knows what she needs to do, and she knows how to do it. It's just not trusting herself, not acting when she needs to act, staying perfectly still, afraid to lose that little bit that she has around her. Because then there's a question of what's next. Like, if I let go of these things and these people, what's next? What's going to fill the void? There's going to be an emptiness there. And then the responsibility comes of, how do I fill it up? Who and what do I fill it up with? And she doesn't really want to answer that question. So the person just jumping into space with their arms outstretched, wanting to fly, but they don't have any wings. But lack of trust in oneself, absolute lack of trust. And I'm picking up, like, there's pink in this picture, which is pink usually certifies like the emotional self, love, care, and she's above it, but she's not in it. So she's above her emotions. She's removed from her emotions. She's flying in a whole different space. But she's emotional, but yet she's not plugged into all of her emotions. Next card down. Ooh, this came up reversed. So the inner voice, this is reversed. Okay, let me show you what the card looks like right side up. You've got the inner voice. We all have an inner voice. We have instinctual feelings. We have thoughts. That's for a reason. Your spirit guides might be talking to you, trying to help you out. And if you're open, you might hear them. They might give you assistance. Even if it's just a feeling, like a gut feeling, that can be quite valuable to guide you in the right direction or get you out of the wrong direction. So Chantal's inner voice is reversed, which means she's not listening to her inner voice. She has completely shut it down. She's just, la, 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 that sort of thing. She is not listening to her higher self. She's completely blocked it out, shut it down, pulled the plug on it. She needs to get back in touch with that inner voice, with that spiritual self. And she's not doing it. She has completely shut it down. Okay, then there's also, hold on a minute. What is this? So we also have, let's see. I also got a couple more cards in reverse. We've got I know this is going to seem like a weird card, but just follow me on this one. You got the ripeness card. Reversed. So what does that mean? The way I'm taking this card is, what is the inverted meaning of being ripe? Rotted. When something is ripe, that means it's fresh, that means it's healthy. When it's rotted, it's no good. Like, it's past its prime, it's not good anymore. So lack of, I'm taking this as lack of health. She's not ripe, she's rotted. Like, there's no sweetness in the fruit. It's gone sour. There's no ripeness there on the tree. So, like, she's, in all aspects of her life and with herself, she is corrupted. She is unhealthy. There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Like, everything is absolutely in ruin. That it's not right. Nothing is ripe. Everything is rotted. The fruit is not on the tree. It is dropped off the tree. It's sitting on the ground, rotting. So you need to fix that, Chantal. Then another card that came up reversed, the understanding card. This was reversed. A lot of reverse cards in this one. Lack of understanding. Like she truly does not understand the damage that she's done to herself. Like she's Spirit is saying she's blocked out her conscience. She's absolutely blocked out her own conscience. Like we all have a conscience, and that conscience speaks to you. And it will say, hey, like it'll give you those uneasy feelings when you know you've done wrong or you're doing wrong. She's completely shut that down. Shut the door, locked it, padlocked it. Lack of understanding. And I'm looking at the birds. The birds usually pertain to spirit, but this was in right side up. You can see the bird is going up towards the other birds, right? I just want to give you a clear picture. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry. But you can see you've got the bird. It looks like it's in a bird cage, but it can get out and get to the other birds. But reversed, the bird is in a cage, unable to get out, unable to get to the other birds, but it's going down instead of up. So the lack of understanding of the situations going on, the lack of understanding the seriousness and the gravity of what's going on. Just the la la la, I don't want to hear you, just it's not happening. No. Like denial. It's not just denial over her and Salah. Denial of everything, of damage she's done to herself, of damage she's done to other people. Like she truly does not know how bad it is. To do all the things that she has done, she had to shut down her conscience, shut down her heart chakra, shut down everything spiritual in order to do these things without much trouble. So lack of understanding. Let's do one more card. Ooh, I'm glad I did one more. So this one came right side up, aloneness. She's struggling with being alone. Like it's caused a lot of damage to her. She struggles with being alone. Like she doesn't know how to be alone and do it well. So it's like there's a feeling of I have to have attention. I have to get attention. I got to be the center of attention. She doesn't like to be alone. She doesn't know how to do it well. She doesn't know how to just sit with herself and deal with herself. So she's constantly distracting herself away from herself. So aloneness is an issue. This need for attention all the time is an issue. So that was I love the Osho deck. Again, for those who might want the deck, that's the Osho Tarot. I love these cards. And Spirit is telling me to get one more deck, and I got to find it. I'll know when I feel it. The Goddess Tarot. There are other cards here, I'm sorry, that I'm looking for. But that was very enlightening. I wonder if I have my Moon Tarot cards here. No, I don't want these. Sorry. I already did that. I should have brought them out. That was my bad. I got so many tarot decks now, I don't know what to do. All right. Oh, there we go. I found them. Got them. Oh, well, maybe I didn't get them. All right, one more. And these tarot cards have to do with animals. Like, they have to do with animals and messages from Spirit using animals. Okay. All right. So, are there messages from Spirit with these cards for Chantal Marie, aka Foodie Beauty? Is there anything you would like to tell her? Anything you would like to say to Chantal? Anything you would like to convey to her? Be very happy to pass on the message to her. Any obstacles that she might have that she needs the message? All right. All right, one moment. One more pass. Okay. Okay, butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. So the butterfly spirit is saying it's okay to change. You know, we all change as people. We all have to go through change. And it's okay to change. And it may seem scary at first, but the transformation is beautiful. By clinging too hard onto the chrysalis, you stop yourself from being a butterfly. You can't be afraid to go into the chrysalis and transform. You have to be willing to change in order to get your wings, Chantal. You have to let go of the old in order to grab onto the new. If both hands are filled with the past and things in the past and people of the past and bitterness from the past and anger from the past, how can your hands be open and free to grab on to anything new and great and fresh? It's just butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Transformation is a wonderful thing. You can be your true self with that. Okay, turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. So, like, one of Chantal's biggest problems is that she wants everything right now. You know, like I want to lose weight and I want to lose 200 pounds right now. I want my life to be better right now. You know, like slow and steady wins the race. If you have a lot of work to do on yourself, it's okay to take your time working on yourself, because by, slow and steady winning the race, eventually you'll get to the finish line and you won't be overexhausting yourself. You won't be overstressing yourself. You won't be overstressing your spirit or your body. So slow and steady wins the race. You know, like if you're going through a transformation, if you're turning into a butterfly, well, it takes time to become a butterfly. You got to go into the chrysalis, and then while you're in there, you have to wait for things to happen. But then once they happen, you'll have the full transformation. So slow and steady wins the race. Take your time, relax, work on yourself. There's a lot to work on. Chantal, you've hurt a lot of people and you've done a lot of awful things. I don't know how much time you have left on this earth. It's not for me to know. It's not for me to judge. It's not my issue. But there's a lot of work to do. And if it took you years to get you to the place where you are now, it's going to take quite a bit of time to fix it. So impatience is working against you. The wanting of quick results now is working against you. You get discouraged and you get angry and frustrated when you don't get quick results to things. But some of your issues are very, very, very serious. Those are things that can't be fixed in a day. So slow and steady wins the race, but eventually you will get to the reward that you seek. It's just that you've got to do the work and stay with the work and keep at it in order to get the result. Okay. I love this deck already. The Groundhog Spirit. Time to let go. And you know what's just basically striking me out at this? Okay. Take a good look at the card, at the groundhog. Look what the groundhog's holding. Look at it carefully. The groundhog is holding a heart and saying, time to let go. Chantal, I feel that pertains to, the wanting of Salah, the wanting of Natter. It's time to let go. Let go of that heart. Let go of those hearts. They don't belong to you. They are not meant for you. Time to let go. So butterfly spirit, transformation is beautiful. Turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. And groundhog spirit, time to let go. Time to let completely go. The more you try to hang on to something that does not belong with you, the more suffering and pain you cause yourself. And that goes for anybody, anywhere. And I'll be the first to say myself, I've been involved in situations with people that I stayed too long, and there was a lot more suffering than need to be, and that's part of me being human, and that's all right. I learned from my mistakes and I've gotten better. I had to go through those things in order to learn the lesson. But by stubbornly holding on to things that don't belong with you, you're causing yourself a lot more pain than you need. Uh, and you're being imprisoned by your own fear of, if I let this go, what and who will replace it? I don't want to be alone. You're so afraid of being alone, of having nobody, of looking like a fool in front of people. You keep betting all your chips on the same numbers, and the same numbers keep losing, and yet you won't stop. You won't change the routine up. Yeah, dove spirit, be at peace. Find the peace. You have to find the peace within yourself. Right now, you're very chaotic. Your energy is chaotic. It's all over the place. The picture I get in my head from spirit with you is like your mind is in a million different directions all the time. And you'll start off thinking in one spot, and then 4 or 5 words in, you go to someplace else, and then go to someplace else and go to someplace else. It's more a question of, well, I was going to, and that over there. And, that is your mind. It's a highway of short roads that all lead to an interstate of chaos. You don't pick a road and go, okay, this is a solid road. The signs are good. There's proper lighting. This looks like a good place to drive. I got a map. I know where I'm going. And I'm just going to follow the map. I'm going to follow the path to wherever it takes me. I'm on a good path. I know I'm on a good path. And I'm going to stay right here. There's all these dirt roads beside the main road. I've already tried those roads. They don't work. Let's try this one. But you got to find the peace. And not only that, but Spirit is telling me to tell you this. Not only do you need to find peace, but you need to give peace to those around you. Calm the waters. The waters are tumultuous right now with everybody Like the waters, they're bubbling and they're troubled. There's been so much hurt caused with so many people and so many situations. There's such a feeling, like I feel like underneath the water there is hot bubbles. The water itself is supposed to be cool. It is cool on the top side of it, but underneath the water on the bottom is just hot lava bubbles. Like there's hidden anger there. There is bad feelings. There is just being disgruntled. Like there's a lot of people around you that they've got a lot of hidden anger for you, a lot of hidden frustrations that they're not speaking on, that they've reached a place where they're like, why bother talking? It's not going to do any good. But they still feel that negative energy. They still have those negative feelings. There are still those old wounds that you caused that you've never acknowledged and you've never apologized for. Heal the ouch. Neo Tarot did a reading recently. She pulled a card in reverse, heal the ouch. So you've got a lot of work to do. You not only got to heal your ouch, but I think it'll be wise to heal the ouches and the wounds that you caused in others. Just start to make amends. If you're smart, if you really have that moment of awakening, you will do that. Instead of causing wounds, stop causing them and heal the pain that you caused. Because by causing so many ouchies with people, so many bruises, so many wounds, you've burned every bridge around you. And that's left you on a tiny little island all by yourself. And there you are on that island saying, why am I by myself? Well, that's because when you hurt people, after a point, they get to their limit with it, and they have to go for their own self-preservation of self. And there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody hurts you, you get away from it, especially when it comes to a narcissist like you. But that's what's causing a lot of your aloneness. Like, nobody wants to be around you because you're too hurtful of a person. So find peace make peace within yourself and make peace with others. Try to make amends. You may not be able to repair everything you've done, but try to heal the ouches with other people. Last card down, clear out the clutter. I love this. Clear out the clutter. Clear it out. And clutter does not necessarily have to be material clutter. Clutter could be clutter inside your mind. You know, like negative thoughts, chaotic thoughts, past trauma, bad memories, bitterness, anger. All of that can clutter up your mind space, your head space, and make your thoughts chaotic. So if you want to look at life and you want to be on a good path, wouldn't it just make sense to be the kind of traveler that you get a good night's sleep, you get a good breakfast in the morning, you know, you walk out in the sun is shining, your mind is clear. And when your mind is clear, then you can better focus on the journey and go in the right direction. You can't be a good traveler if you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to get there, you don't have enough money, you know, you're flying on the seat of your pants. That just doesn't work. So you're filled with a lot of clutter, Chantal, a lot of spiritual clutter, a lot of emotional clutter, mental clutter. You got to get that out. You got to do some spring cleaning, or summer cleaning as it were now. But you got to clear out the space. Let go of all of the old and bring on the new. And then change will come to you because it's got space to live in you. Right now, there's no space. There's no vacancy. So clear out the clutter. Clear it out. Clear it all out. So I think that was a really good reading, y'all. And I'm glad I decided to redo it over because I think that was quite insightful, I think we'll stop here for the night. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. As I said, I've got some matrix stuff to do, real life stuff to do. And I'm going to be busy all day today. So I hope you guys have a great day. And again, for those who are interested, what decks did I use? I have like a animal deck. And the other deck is the Osho Tarot. And the first one was the Rider deck. Rider-Waite. So thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please take care of yourself and each other. Bye.